Okay, today we are going to go over the order of operations. Order of operations when simplifying a polynomial expression. So I'm assuming that you know what the order of operations is, and just as a review, I'll write the order of operations here. And you use PEMDAS. PEMDAS to remember this. The reason I wrote the M and the D side by side and the A and the S side by side is that they basically have the same level of importance when it comes to the order of operations. This multiplication and division, addition and subtraction. When you see these, you just do them left to right. And E, of course, means exponents. And P means parentheses. So basically these are, or this is the, parenthesis. This is the order that you should be looking at a polynomial expression. So let's say we have an expression like this. Let's say we have 12x to the fourth minus 4x cubed divided by negative 2x all raised to the second power plus an x squared. So when we're trying to simplify this, the first thing you should keep in mind is the p, okay, the parentheses. There are two sets of parentheses here, and can we simplify anything inside the parentheses? And in this case, we can't. We can't simplify this part. We can't simplify this part. Okay, so we're done with parentheses. How about exponents? Are there any exponents here? We have some exponents here, or here, 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 and here. Are there any exponents that you can simplify? Well, we can't simplify these, but we can simplify this one here. We can distribute the exponent to each of the terms inside. Remember the rule for distribution of exponents? So we can't simplify this, so let's just leave it as is. Divided by 2 times, or 2, the power of 2 applied to the negative 2 times power of 2 applied to x plus x squared. So then this part becomes negative 2 squared is 4, and x squared is just x squared. Okay, so we have 12x to the fourth minus 4x cubed divided by 4x squared plus x squared. Okay, now it's really tempting for you to just start adding the 4x squared with the x squared. But let's not do that here, because let's keep the order of operations in mind. The next thing we should do is multiplication and division. So this is addition here, so we need to leave addition until last. And we'll need to see, are there any multiplication or division that needs to be done? And it turns out, yes, there's a division problem right here. So we need to do this first before we do this, okay? So don't do this yet. Do the division problem. So using the distributive law, we get 12x to the fourth divided by 4x squared, and then minus 4x to the third divided by 4x squared. The 4x squared has been distributed to each of these terms here. Oops, sorry. 4x squared has been distributed to each of the terms inside the parentheses. And don't forget the plus x squared. Let me use this color, plus x squared at the end. Okay, so we need to do the division first before we do anything else. Let's do the division. So 12 divided by 4 here is 3. X to the fourth divided by x squared. Remember, when you're dividing polynomials or dividing variables with exponents, you just subtract the exponent, so that's x squared. Minus 4 divided by 4 here is just 1. x cubed divided by x squared is just x plus x squared. Okay, and lastly, we look at addition and subtraction. Can we add or subtract anything here? And it turns out, yes, we have these terms that are like terms. So we can add those together. So 3x squared plus x squared gives us 4x squared. And then we have the minus 1x, which is just x, so minus x. So this would be our answer for this question. So let's try one other problem. This is going to be a long problem, but if you look at it piece by piece, it's not going to be that hard. So we have 2x times x minus 5 minus 2/3 x cubed plus 4x squared and divided by negative 1/3 x. What would this equal when we simplify? Okay, so this looks like a really long problem, but let's look at it piece by piece. Let me write the order of operations here. So first, let's look at the parentheses. Can we simplify anything inside the parentheses? Well, we can't simplify anything here. We can't simplify anything in here. We can't simplify anything in here. Okay, so we're done with parentheses. How about exponents? Are there any exponents? We have an exponent here and here, but we can't really simplify any of them. Okay, so we're done with exponents. How about multiplication and division? And it turns out we have one of each. We have a multiplication here and we have a division here. So we need to do these first. So for the first part, let's try the multiplication. Using the distributive law, 2x times x minus 2x times 5, okay, and then minus, next we're distributing this to each of the terms in here, okay. And remember, when you have a fraction and a variable like this, put the variable on the numerator, so that's the same thing as negative x over 3, and change the division to a multiplication, and then flip this. So this, let me write it to the side here. Dividing by a negative x over 3 is the same thing as doing multiplying negative 3 over x. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to multiply everything in here with negative 3 over x. Okay, so we have 2/3 x cubed. Again, let's write the x cubed on the numerator. Times a negative 3 over x plus 4x squared. Let me make room. Okay, times negative 3 over x. All right, so now let's simplify each of these components. So 2x times x is going to be 2x squared, minus 2x times 5 is going to be 10x, minus, we have a parentheses here, the 3 is going to cancel with the 3 here, but there's still the negative sign, so don't forget the negative sign, negative 1. X will cancel with the x cubed, so there's going to be x squared left. There are 3 x's on top, 1 x on the bottom, so there are now 2 x's on top. So the negative 1 times 2 times x squared is going to be negative 2x squared, plus, again, the x is going to cancel with the x squared here, so there's x left. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12, then we have the x. Okay, now we need to do addition and subtraction. Before we do addition and subtraction though, we have a parentheses here, and we have a negative sign in front of the parentheses. So to get rid of the parentheses, we'll need to distribute the negative sign to each of the terms inside. Okay, so we have 2x squared minus 10x. So negative 2x squared is going to be plus 2x squared. Negative 12x is going to be plus 12x. Okay, and then let's look at addition and subtraction. We just add, let me use different colors here. Add the like terms. So 2x squared plus 2x squared is going to be 4x squared. Negative 10x plus 12x is going to be positive 2x. So this will be our answer for this question. So at first it looks to be very long and tedious, but break it up into pieces. Remember your order of operations. This is very important. Remember to solve your problem in the order of operations, and you'll get the answer eventually.